Hello, my friend. Do you want to know what happened when Ema pulled Ali out of the river? Let's watch this cartoon and find out. The story begins in a beautiful meadow with many flowers and trees. The meadow had a big river and had water for everyone. The animals were having fun around the river. A beautiful and sunny day, Rob was playing in the river. He met his friend Fox and they started climbing the trees. They played who reached the top of the tree first. Fox was very fast and skilled at climbing trees. Rob was tired and Fox reached the top of the tree first. Fox said, "I'm the best." "I won." "Yes, you reached the top first," said Rob. When Rob was resting, he heard some screams. "Did you hear that noise?" Rob asked Fox. "Yes, I heard it," Fox replied. "Who's there?" asked Rob. Fox and Rob walked following the screams. Suddenly, they see Tom with the river water up to his neck, asking for help so he doesn't drown. Rob sees Tom in the river and shouts, "Calm down, Tom, we're here to help you." Rob thought, "I have to help Tom like a superhero would." Tom cried, "Please help me." Fox shouted, "Don't cry, Tom, we'll help you." At that moment, Leo arrived and asked, "What's going on?" "Tom is drowning in the river," Rob replied. Ben is flying over the river and hears Tom's screams and approaches. Rob tries to get Tom out of the river. Ben, seeing Tom, gets worried and says, "I'm going to get help." He was struggling in the river and was getting farther away from the shore. Rob immediately sprang into action. He knew that Tom was in danger and he had to help her. Without hesitation, Leo jumped into the river and began swimming towards him. He was a strong swimmer and was quickly able to reach Tom. "Don't worry, Tom," said Rob. "I'm here to help you." Leo ran towards Tom. Rob and Leo grabbed onto Tom's hand and began pulling her towards the shore. But Tom was very scared. "Help me," he cried out. "I'm scared." Rob could see that Tom was terrified, so he tried to calm her down. "It's okay, Tom," he said soothingly. "I've got you. Just relax and let me pull you out." With that, Rob continued to swim towards the shore, determined to save Tom from the river. As they got closer, Rob could see a group cheering them on. "Come on, Rob. You can do it," they shouted. And finally, with one last burst of strength, Rob pulled Tom out of the river and onto the shore. All around, everyone was relieved to see that Tom was safe. Rob, despite being small, had managed to save her life. Everyone applauded him for his bravery and kindness. From that day on, Tom and Rob became best friends. They often went on adventures together, and Tom never forgot how grateful he was to Rob for saving his life. After that, Rob went home because he had to change his wet clothes. Next day, Rob was sitting on the grass reading a book. On the way, he passed by the river. Suddenly, he heard someone crying. He stopped and asked, "Who's there?" A small voice replied, "It's me, Leo." He was sitting on a rock by the river looking very sad. "What's wrong, Leo?" asked Rob kindly. Leo looked up and explained that he'd been trying to get some water from the river for his mother, but he slipped and fell in. He tried to get himself out, but he couldn't and he was too scared to call for help. "Don't worry, Leo," said Rob. "I'll help you." And without further ado, Rob jumped into the river. The current was strong, making it hard for Rob to swim against it, but he kept going. Finally, he reached Leo and grabbed onto his shirt, pulling him towards the bank. "Hold on to me tight," instructed Rob. Leo did as he was told, and soon they were both out of the water. "Thanks for saving me," said Leo gratefully to Rob. Leo, who had never been so happy to see anyone before, thanked Rob again and ran off to get some fresh water for his mom. Rob watched him go, feeling good about helping someone in need. After that day, Rob became known throughout the forest for his bravery and kindness. All the animals respected and admired him for his willingness to help others. Whether it was lending a helping hand to a friend or standing up for those who were being bullied, Rob always seemed to be there for those who needed him most. His reputation as a hero grew and soon he was being called upon to help solve all sorts of problems in the forest. One day, while Rob was taking a stroll through the woods, he came across a group of birds who were in a panic. "Oh no, our friend Benny has fallen into the river and we can't get him out," they cried. Rob immediately rushed to the riverbank and jumped in. As he swam further into the river, he spotted a small bird who was struggling to stay afloat. It was Benny, and he was quickly getting weaker and weaker. Without wasting a moment, Rob reached out a hand and grabbed onto Benny, pulling him out of the water. He was very grateful to Rob for saving his life. "Thank you, Rob," he said with a shaky voice. You have no idea how much I appreciate you helping me. Rob smiled at Benny and said, "It was no trouble at all. I'm just glad you're safe." As Benny dried himself off on the riverbank, he explained to Rob that he had been flying with his friends when he suddenly became separated from the group. He tried to follow them, but he got lost and ended up falling into the river. "I didn't know how to swim and I was getting really scared," admitted Benny. "But then you came along and saved me." Rob nodded understandingly. He knew what it felt like to be scared and alone. He remembered the time when he first jumped into the river to save Tom. "It takes a lot of courage to admit when you need help," said Rob. "But you were brave to ask for it, Benny, and I'm glad you did because now you're safe." After that, Rob and Benny became friends. They often went on adventures together, and Rob enjoyed listening to Benny's stories about his travels all around the world. Benny was full of energy and enthusiasm, and he loved to share his experiences with Rob. Together, they made a great team, and their friendship only grew stronger with time. Then suddenly, Rob noticed something strange. A little girl was standing by the river looking worried. "Do you know that girl, Benny?" he asked. "Yes," replied Benny. "That's Olivia. She often comes to the river to collect water for his family." Rob and Benny approached the girl and asked if everything was all right. "I'm sorry," said Olivia, "but I can't seem to get any water from the river. It's too deep and I'm too small to reach the surface." Rob knew he had to help. He was always ready to lend a hand to those in need. "Don't worry, Olivia," he said. "I'll help you get some water." Without hesitation, Rob jumped into the river. The water was cold and strong, but Rob was determined to help Olivia. He swam further into the river until he was right in front of the little Olivia. "Grab onto my back, Tom," he instructed. Olivia did as he was told, and soon they were swimming towards the shore. "Thank you, Rob," sighed Olivia, relieved to be getting out of the water. "No problem," replied Rob with a smile. "I'm just glad you're safe." As they walked back to the riverbank, Rob and Benny chatted with Olivia about his family and the importance of helping others. Olivia was very grateful for Rob's help, and he promised to never forget his kindness. From that day on, Rob continued to be known as the bravest rabbit in the forest. His acts of kindness and bravery inspired other animals to do the same. And soon the whole forest was filled with helpful and compassionate creatures. Rob was happy to see the positive impact he had on the community, and he knew that together they could make the world a better place. However, he still dreamed of one day becoming an actual superhero. Little did he know that his chance to become a real-life hero was just around the corner. One sunny afternoon, Rob was relaxing by the river when he saw a familiar sight: Allie, Leo, Benny, and Tom were playing together when suddenly Allie slipped and fell into the water. "Help!" she cried out. Without hesitation, Rob jumped into the river. As he swam towards Allie, he noticed a long neck reaching into the water. It was Ema. She was trying to grab Allie, but she was too far away to reach her. "Ema, help!" shouted Rob. The giraffe understood and began moving closer to where Allie was struggling in the water. Finally, with a swift movement, Ema pulled Allie out of the river and onto the ground. Everyone rushed to Allie's side to see if she was all right. "Are you okay, Allie?" asked Rob, concerned. Allie sat up and replied, "I'm fine, thanks. Thanks to Ema for saving me." All the animals cheered, happy to see that Allie was safe. As the sun set over the forest, the animals gathered around a campfire to celebrate Allie's lucky escape. They roasted marshmallows and told stories, and Rob couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. From that day forward, the bond between the animals and the forest grew even stronger. They continued to look out for each other and help whenever they could. And Rob realized that maybe being a superhero wasn't about having special powers, but about having a kind heart and helping others.